Hello.
Kindly remind us your name.
My name is Jackson Dirangu.
Last time we talked, you told me you work in TV.
Yes, I work in TV.
But I found out you also work in radio.
Yes, it's a small world. I also work in radio. I'm a radio personality, I can say. In NTV, radio and TV, we're trying to merge them together. Yeah, in that we can be on air on radio, yeah, and still see us on the internet. So as a director, I come in to just help and integrate all that.
Now, sadly, NTV closed down QFM.
Yes, it did.
Did you work at QFM? Or did you get the opportunity to see how they run things?
QFM was part of NTV, was part of Nation FM. So Nation FM and QFM are radio stations. But then when you work for TV, there's something in TV we call, what's it called? This is what we use, that you can work in everything. You can work here. The fact that you can only do TV, you can also do radio. Yeah, in that you can go there and help create small videos for the internet. Sometimes we mix TV and radio to go on air at the same time. So we are now on radio. For Gumzo La Sato, we want to go on air on radio at the same time. So whenever on radio we are on, and on TV we are on at the same time.
So they sort of now become codependent. They are not independent.
Yes, because after all, it's from the same station. So QFM used to do the same with QFM. In that, if we have a program on TV, we make sure we set up, on radio, we make sure we set up in the radio stations, so that when you go live on radio, TV is also live. So people can hear and they can see.
What is the work environment at Nation FM like?
By work environment, I think you mean, is it a nice place to work?
Yes.
It is a nice place to work.
Do you wake up and actually enjoy going to work? Or are you regretting it like, it's Monday again?
Tell you what, if you love what you do, you don't regret. You can do it for free. If you can wake up, as long as you see it going well, you can wake up and do it and go home. You don't have to be told, kazi yako jamka, you wake up, you have something that's pushing you. Yeah, so as a jibu swali yako na the environment is good. People are very friendly. Work environment, working with people, machines as yongei. So machines ni nyinyi mnazi operate. But the people there are actually very interesting and very happy and very coordinating.
Is the media management behind the scenes hierarchical, where if the producer says we are doing this, and the presenters have no say? Or is it like a united front where you get to discuss the topic of the day? Or is it my way, it's my way or the highway?
If we ever find a producer who has that my way is the highway mentality, that is not a good producer. A producer is who sits people down and like, I'm thinking we discuss about this. What do you think? What are your remarks? What are your comments? So what can we add into the mix? So when we do it, I don't just say go and everyone jumps. No, it's we understand each other. So that when I put a code word in it, everyone understands. So it's not a hierarchy kind of a process. No, we discuss. The producer decides, bring down, even bosses come up with ideas and we just shoot it.
So you would say that it is important to have different opinions, not just, because if we're all discussing, then we're able to understand our different opinions on a certain topic. Do you think it's important to, because I also found out radio is scripted sometimes, and you tell people to argue, even if they don't believe in that point, that they should say it so that someone who's listening might relate to what they are saying. How important is it to always present both sides of the story?
In every conversation, there's both sides of the story. You cannot say, for example, we have a topic like contraceptives. We're talking about contraceptives for men, because they're new contraceptives for men. And then say, this is the way forward. No, they're both. You can come up and say this and say this. So there's someone out there who thinks, everyone thinks yes, they think no. And they want an answer because they think no. So they have to have that. Lazima kuwe na opposition. Kuna opposition kwa politics. There is opposition. Why? Because there are people who don't concur with you. So they need to be represented too. So it's okay to have people who contradict and people who agree. It's basic conversation.
Now just to clarify, according to Google, Nation FM and QFM are closed. That's
According to
according to Google.
Google should update your details.
So they're not.
They are not.
They're open.
QFM
running.
is closed. Nation FM is operating up to standard.
Now let's get into the details of QFM. What led to the closure of QFM?
I think that's beyond my pay grade. You see, when a boss amke siku moja feel and akufunga ama feel it is not making money ama feel, you can't question that. That is them. They've sat and thought. So I wouldn't want to get into details about it because I wasn't there when they're closing. As in, I wasn't in that boardroom making decisions. But Lisa McCann wasn't making money, and so we wanted to concentrate that energy elsewhere. It could be Nation FM or TV. Yes.
So obviously, finances are needed.
Yeah.
Money does run the world.
Money is everything.
Can't just work for free in this country.
Yeah.
Now, if you had your own radio station, what would you do different than current? Even the one you work at, even if it's Nation, what would you do different?
Honestly speaking, nataka sauti ya Wakenya isikike. We get to talk. We get here, for example, a radio station wanaongea and then they wanapatia wananchi time kidogo only when they want entertainment. Unataka hii ngoma ku request, unataka hii ngoma. These people want to express themselves. All right? These people want to talk. These people want wajulikane. This is what they believe in. You just can't utumike time ya entertainment peke yake. I want, for example, election is approaching. Right? We want to discuss as Kenyans to kikundi hapo hivi to discuss. If I had a radio station, I'll take a mic, go to the streets, go live on Instagram, on radio, and just ask people questions. Why do you think the government should do that? You know, get voices of Kenyans from where they come from their comfort zones. Because kizu kutakuinda interview, mnaweza kuja huku hivi kwa station. Go to where they are. They'll give you authentic information. Why? Umekuja kwetu and you want to hear from us. So mostly kwa mashinani, that's where the information is. That's where the entertainment is.
But radio also avoids such sensitive topics. If you listen to most of radio nowadays, it's my relationships, should men and women, like, you know, you said contraceptives. I honestly don't think I've had a radio station currently talk about the male
They should employ me. Anyway.
They always talk about relationships, and I think I saw even a tweet the other day where someone was saying that a certain radio station, again I'm not mentioning names, only talks about their daily lives and they're losing viewers because of that. Why is radio avoiding politics, and how important is it for them to expand their topics?
Sorry, from a layman's perspective, they say you despise or you fight what you don't understand, right? If you understand politics and you stand by politics, you will talk about it. But then, if you're inciting or you're saying it was ifai, or you have a stand in politics, you don't want people to know. But if you're discussing politics, who doesn't know politics? Kila mtu anajua Raila ako hapa, Uhuru ako hapa. So how about you do polite politics in the morning? In that, you bring someone who will explain to us. Like for example, when we were doing constitution, people didn't know about the constitution. They brought people to teach us about the constitution. That is politics. Bring people, wapatie microphone, teach us what we don't know about politics. But kila saa mkiongelea contraceptive, it's a good topic because it's sweet. Alafu porojo inauza. Hearsay inauza. Ukiongelea kitu yote, mama, vijana, social, anything social sells. But then you have to understand politics so that you don't fight it.
So you think they don't do it? I would say it's because fear of sponsors. They might lose their sponsors.
They are sponsors too. They are sponsors. I'm not saying they don't do it because they fear. No. They have their own reasons, but they are sponsors. You know, when a sponsor comes into a show, they dictate what you're about to produce. All right? But when you don't have a sponsor, why not create an hour, 20 minutes or 30 minutes to discuss these things? Because if people don't know politics, they will not vote. Watakuwa naambiwa left, tunakimbia left. But they have to understand that we're bringing this person because of this person. This person have done this change. So if you believe this person didn't do this change, don't vote for him. But then watu wanakuwa swayed na pesa. You know why? If we don't inform these people, know what will happen? Watakuwa swayed by the politicians. Why? Politicians are coming with so much force ya kupush around. So if you don't understand, you will fight it.
So in summary, you're saying not everything has to be a debate on radio. It could just be an informative show where you take time to educate Kenyans on an issue.
It's the way a Christian show, you can bring a pastor, give him the mic, introduce him, he preaches for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have a sponsor, bring in there hata haribu kitu. But then when the sponsor akiingia amedictate. But then put a politician there, not a politician, they're media, they're political analysts. Watakupatia what you need to hear. Yeah.
Now, on to lighter matters. Radio presenters nowadays are not really people who are trained in journalism. They've become social media influencers with a big platform that are given that opportunity because ratings are important, viewership is important. Is that fair to people who have been studying 4 years and won't get that job just because they don't have millions of followers on Instagram?
If you are an employer of a media station, radio or TV, you're looking for the best, trained or not. If this person, if you, Lisa, I see you're not trained, but you can speak well, you can present yourself well, you have the face, I'll put you there. Why? I'm looking for numbers. I'm looking for sponsors. But then you have someone who's gone to school somewhere, so na amesomea kila kitu, but then ajitumi, hana what it takes. Also, if you umesoma, groom yourself, kapua, tokelezea, improve your English, improve your diction, people will come for you. Kila mtu, hata kama people will come for you hata kama hujasomea media. That's why you see people who haven't done journalism, wamefanya law, wameingia na wanaingia ama mtu wamefanya economics. Why? They're good at what they do, so it's easier for them to renew. So it's unfair, yes, but then jitume. If you're thinking it's unfair, jitume, they will employ you.
So you would say skills sometimes matter more than the training, or is it always they matter more than training?
Skills is very important. Ukiona skills, you can conquer everything.
So lastly, what advice, because honest, you know, I'm a student finishing school.
Okay.
Is it possible to finish school and immediately become a radio presenter?
Can you learn driving today alafu drive hadi Namanga?
No.
Can you learn to eat today as a kid alafu kule Githeri?
Hapana.
Kwa nini? It's because you need that grace period to learn. Uive perfect, umejua kuendesha leo, drive around globe, get to know how to brake, get to know all those things, and then go for a long journey. Sawa, uwezi toka tu immediately shughuli unataka. Kuna chances ziko, kuna mtu anaweza hivyo ku driving aende hadi Namanga, chances ziko you can do that. But then improve on yourself. Umejua tu umaliza tu chuo hivyo, you can't get everything you want, but it will be also unfair for you. Umetoka shule and you get a job and you don't have what it requires. Ni kama umejitupa depend. You have to first of all learn, understand the company, understand the industry, understand the do's and don'ts, understand the rules of the job. So as ukiingia, it is not too much for you. I started from way chini. Na sasa unaingia, it's a bit too much. We're waking up every day at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. until usiku, mnachapa job, hardship, muko po West Pokot, Kapenguria, bandits are there, you're right. If you're from school and don't have that experience, you'll quit, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a bit too much for you. Yeah.
So what makes a successful radio station?
Everything there is, from the bosses to the employees. There is no perfect radio station. Every station has their own dynamics. But easy vitu kidogo, a good presenter, a continuity presenter, an additional presenter, the crew, good crew who coordinate things, all that. There is no perfect perfect radio wenye ati kona kila kitu, perfect people. Huyu anapochiwa anakuja hapa. Huyu anatolewa anaenda pale. It's a business, it's a business. So a perfect radio station is where people coordinate, is doing well, presenters talk to their people. A radio presenter is where, a perfect radio show is where wanaongea, mnajadiliana, after everything said and done, come up na a good conversation that will give people wanafurahi, they wait for tomorrow because you always give them something to talk about.
Now obviously there was the scandal for radio, for Homeboys, that led to some people being fired. Now the question is, I think that's one of the dangers of hiring influencers who've not been taught the ethics of what you can and what you cannot say, how to stay politically correct. Do you keep having those seminars where now Nation Media Group takes that and takes all of you as employees and is like, today we are going to be discussing sexual assault in companies. What is considered sexual assault? Do you have those seminars and weekends like that?
I'll say we have trainings where media personalities are being taught what not to say and what to say. Not all the time, because the company sometimes doesn't afford, but when it does, all right? So mnapata people who know, professionals, they will tell you, if we do this, it's libel. If we talk about this, it's slander. If uongelesha mtoto kama mama yake hajakubali, is this and this and this, you know, all those low maneno. So that if you get into the station and you ask a kid something, you know you can be sued, right?
Yes.
Because the mother is not there. So they come and they teach us, they train us, so that you're able to understand media better. So yes, there is.
So media management is important in also making the station successful.
Very important.
Does the management come in to discuss the day-to-day, or do they just tell you what they expect of you, or do they have a say in the running of the day-to-day activities?
Actually, for NTV, the boss is always there around, so you can't do, and they are listening. You can't do anything that you want. You can't do anything that is of the blues. And they're there, unakuja unauliza, I have this idea, what do you think? They're like, oh, that's good. Let's edit it and take it on air right now. You see, you just can't come and put things that you want or things that they asify. The management is actively participating in decision making of the company.
So would you say you work as a family, all of you?
Nation is a family. Nation is a family, from birthdays, celebrating birthdays, to celebrity, to mourning when people go, probably they're being retrenched or someone has lost their job. We're all a family. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Asante.
Thank you for coming today.
You're welcome. Anytime.